Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the chess show on IBM or Pod TV. My name is Sasha Star, and I would like to introduce my esteemed guest for today. It's Grandmaster Mikhail Marin and his lovely wife, Maria, an artist, and we are going to see something very soon.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Professor Ken Regan. Welcome to the show, Ken. How are you today?
Me on, yes.
Great to see you. Maria, please show us your art because we haven't seen it for several weeks now, if not months, and we would like to see what you'll show
Okay,
us.
but it's usual problem because my painting is
Yes,
big,
yes, right. Yeah,
and
let's see.
now I try to show it. Oh, maybe
It's
like
big. And
Oh.
it's zoomed in.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Chess
That's
piece
what
is in the iris. Okay.
Mhm. You know, I think you have a great chances to make a lot of money by selling it to dentists, cabinet,
or,
because, or
oculus. Yes.
ophthalmologists just
Mhm.
as well. they would just die to get that. So
because in the eyes, inside the eyes, it's the chessboard, and it's
yes.
neat to
No, you're fantastic at incorporating chess. So, as we treat chess as a part of art,
Mhm.
and of course, what you're doing is a pure art. So it's really, really great addition to what we are talking. So we are going to discuss a Soviet chess school. You know, I was thinking all week about this concept. It seems to
Right.
be, Ken, you never said anything about it because you were not
I
present.
was not there, but
Oh,
I do have some. I have real memories of what it meant as a 13, 14-year-old
please
growing up
share
in
it
the
with us.
1970s.
Share it with
Yes.
us, please.
So basically, the silly contrast in my head was realizing that the Capablanca Aljechin World Championship match had 34 Queen's Gambit declined, and chess was technical. Aljechin could be an attacking player in both, and then along came this new brand of chess that infused a lot of life. By playing more enterprising openings, especially the choice of openings by black against d4, and so that more dynamic approach is what quote the Soviet chess school meant to me as a child.
Ken, couple of things before I forget. First of all, it could not be 34 draws with games with the Queen's Gambit decline because in the first game there was a French defense. As I
You're
remember.
right, 33 then, something
Maybe
like
33. Yeah, okay.
that. 33, yeah.
Or you know what? They made a mistake. It also should have been Queen Gambit's decline, but Capablanca made mistake by playing e4. So that's why it's only 33, not 30.
Maybe that's right. But see, now if you're Soviet school of chess and you play French defense, then it's a 1 hour. So
Yeah.
those are the perhaps oversimplified associations that I had in my mind. And then I add to it, Kasparov especially, realizing that there are many positions in which black can play a pawn down and is perfectly fine in a dynamic game. So,
Hmm.
um,
So you would suggest that Kasparov is the last representative of Soviet chess school?
I
Or
would say yes. I would say that effect of his
Mikhail, would
upbringing
you
in the
agree with that?
1970s.
No, of course not. I mean, what about Kramnik, Ivanchuk, Harifman? Some of them became world champions or came very close to it. I mean, all
Sure.
these guys, Drev. I mean, of course, they are also Soviet players. I mean, they were 20 or even a little bit. Shirov. Okay, Shirov was 18 when the Soviet Union disappeared. But okay, they are all Soviet products. I mean, if there was such a thing as Soviet chess school, of course there were still. I mean, okay, Kasparov was okay. Okay, he was one of the biggest one. Okay, that's but not the last one somehow.
Mhm.
No, of course, some of them maybe, but I don't know. I think they still play what they learned in their youth. All these guys, of course, they are not in their prime now. But for instance, okay, Shirov is coming back after after some years when he couldn't join the elite. Now he seems to come back. So they are playing the chess they learned as Soviets. And I repeat some of them. Well, with Ponomarev, for instance, things are a little bit more on the edge because, I think he was 8 or 7 when Soviet Union disappeared. But
So, Mikhail, would
maybe,
you agree to qualify Ponomarev more or less like a representative of Ukrainian chess school rather than Soviet? Because the Soviet chess school, basically, we cannot really see how we can call anything Soviet chess school, where in 1991 Soviet Union ceased to exist. So here is a
but
situation
there,
where no
but there is
Soviet Union, but Soviet chess school on the other hand. How does it work?
well, I mean, even this question is tricky because, first, there was the Soviet system, and for Stalin and for all the others, for Brezhnev or for other guys, chess was not by much less important than state policy. I mean, for them it was important to hold the supremacy on all levels: team, individual, ladies, men. So now what I think has changed. If you have money in any of the former Soviet countries, then you have all the chance to become at least a junior world champion. So now we see, for instance, Kazakhstan. We see a lot of amazing. I mean, there are 2 very strong girls there.
3.
It's also, yes, it's Jansaya Abdumalik, it's Bibisara
And
and it's
number
also
1 is
Sadokasova.
Sadokasova.
Okay. So now it's also Abdusatorov, which won the Rapid World Champion. But by the way, Abdusatorov won the Rapid World Championship by defeating 3 reasonably strong player. That is Carlsen, Wojtaszek, and Nakamura. With following an article I had just released a few weeks earlier.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
so I mean, but the Russians have somehow lost something after Kasparov retreated.
Yeah.
I mean, without Kasparov, I don't think it was only the points he scored.
Yes.
No, but you
So-
see, one funny thing about the Soviet chess school. First of all, remember it was always Soviet chess school, not Russian chess school. Even today, after Soviet Union is ceased to exist, there is still no Russian chess school. There is Ukrainian chess school. There is Armenian chess school. At the times of Michael Tal, there was a Latvian chess school, which is continued through Shirov, and before him Shabalov was very good, sharp.
Very dangerous attacking player.
Yes.
So there were, but never Russians. There were Russian champions anyway. Karpov, Kasparov, Kramnik, at least those 3, but no Russian chess school. How would you explain that?
Yeah.
No, from what I know from Maria is that something was lost in Russia. I mean, these countries, as I said, there are some countries where they continue the tradition of the Soviet chess school. For a while, it was Ukraine. They won 3 times the Olympiad, I believe, and also Armenia. They had Aronian. They put everything into him. I mean, they sustained him. They but in Russia, yes, somehow, if Maria says, if the parents have money, then you'll be a world champion. I mean, at least youth world champion. If not, then not. I mean, it's
or very huge talent.
but nowadays, yes, it's not so easy. And we know, for instance, Bibisara Saubayeva, something like that.
Yeah.
We know her mother. We know that. Not only she is very well off, but she also has big support from. She played for Russia first.
She played for Russia, even though they live in Kazakhstan. Okay.
They live in Kazakhstan.
No, they even received the Russian citizenship, but then something they didn't like, and they returned to Kazakhstan.
Ken, is it true that all these girls were accused of cheating one way or another?
What's that?
All these girls were at one time accused of cheating.
Well, yeah, Asavayeva was one that's
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes, with
records of FIDE
the
Ethics
right.
Commission, but
Uh-huh.
there's not really much to it. So,
I think she's a strong player, though, after all.
oh yes, definitely, definitely a strong player. Yes. So, Mikhail, I was going to take exception with some of your classifications of later players into the Soviet chess school. I'd like to share my screen. I'm going to present evidence, but it's not going to be statistical evidence. Instead, it'll be visual evidence provided by a college one classmate up from me. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen and just get your impression. Okay. So wait, share. Here we go. And so, is this a member of the Soviet chess school? Really?
But okay, Korchnoi was much worse than him, and he was a Soviet.
I guess so. I guess I cannot. I guess I cannot disagree with that. But anyway.
No,
Okay.
but by the way, the younger generations, they okay. We have Halivman who enjoys life, but I think Gelfand is not really. Ivanchuk, I don't know about him. I think he just lives in his chess world. But I believe there are more people who enjoyed life earlier,
Okay.
like Korchnoi, Tal, Stein, and actually Kramnik. He beat Kasparov after he did half a year of a very serious physical preparation. So when Kasparov met him, this was another guy. It was not this, this fluffy guy. No, this was a man, a very strong man, and something he didn't expect a presence because he had been training and probably.
Well, I was among those who distracted Kasparov from his preparation.
Sorry?
I distracted Kasparov from his preparation.
How did you do that?
Because I was involved in the match versus the rest of the world. I was the one organizing behind the scenes the world's analysis of the Queen's Endgame. And I credit Kasparov very much for putting so much energy into that game. But my understanding, it was one of the things that postponed this match with Kramnik by a year. Contributing factor.
Fabulous information. I was not aware of it. And now
I have a whole website on this, so let me find it.
I remember that much, but I was, of course, I didn't know this background that you just explained.
Yeah, my role is noted in a book titled Reinventing Discovery by the originally quantum physicist, now popular science writer, Michael Nielsen. And as a case of crowdsourcing research via internet. So I'll share screen again. So
okay,
I'm sort of hijacking the conversation, but whatever.
So
I have this website titled Garry Kasparov versus Worst of the World. It's on my chess page, and and I did analysis after that. I wrote articles with Arena Crush. About this as well. And let's see though here, World Team Endgame Strategy Explained. So I posted this as the game was around move 45 or 47 and was clearly exchanging and pawn race to this queen ending at turn 50. And I wrote this long post that was linked from the Microsoft World website in 30 points to try to teach the principles of the endgame to the participants. And I guess this gets quite deep. But I have principle about defending queen, where you should be, and pin from the side will have your hide. Pin from behind, you're better off. It's little principles like that. And I wrote this as not normal chess. And then 30, if you understand the above points of strategy, then you're a good enough player and analyst to make contributions of value to the world team. And the world team put together a lot of research. And I, however, found the key Zugzwang idea, by which white can win the game even if black played correctly at turn 58. And I found it while in the shower. And I actually ran half naked down to the basement to see if anyone else had noticed it on the newsgroup. So this is quite an involved long post, but as I said, this is part of the idea of crowdsourcing research. And,
Probably you were the only one who took shower, and that's why you were able to find it.
yeah, and then Kasparov, again, what I really credit Kasparov for was he posted an analysis claiming that he could have won the game against best defense. I refuted his analysis with this post, but the computer found an alternate way to win. In fact, there are two alternate ways to win. This post I did entirely without computer, but with tables, and my post was upheld 100. This article analysis was upheld 100% by the eventual table base.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, the article, the computer found a way for someone to win. Anyway, as I said, Kasparov did put a lot of energy into this in fall 1999, and because he cared as much about the art and the end game as we did.
Well, yeah, one can admire Kasparov and for what he's done to end the discussion about the Soviet chess school, because there are a few more things that I wanted to mention today. I believe that you can't really resurrect Soviet chess school once Soviet Union ceased to exist in 1991. You can call it anything,
Mhm.
but how can you, in your right mind, assert the existence of Soviet chess school once the Soviet Union is no longer existent? All think like Soviet now becomes thing of a past. Soviet Union is a thing of the past. Anything Soviet is a thing of the past. You cannot resurrect it because it's like in the water. You can step in the same water only once. Second time there will be another water. It's not the same anymore. So, but on the other hand, if you remember, within the Soviet chess school, so-called, there were national schools. For example, Ukrainian school. What is Ukrainian school? Very briefly, if you remember Bronstein, Boleslavsky, then Geller, when they started to play Old Indian defense or King's Indian defense and other sharp openings, and they had some kind of a style, at least some openings, which distinguished them. And of course, late Leonid Stein continued that. Today we can talk about Vasily Ivanchuk, a brilliant chess player, so on. So there is some kind of understanding or a concept, better to say, of a Ukrainian chess school. And Ukrainian chess school has its continuation even today because Ukraine, believe it or not, still exists. But so its school has a right to exist simply because the country exists. So same could be talked about Armenian chess players. Most of the Armenian players always played French defense. Tigran Teperstan played French defense. Many Armenian. Mikhail, have you played against Armenian players? Don't you find that they very often play French defense? They have their own style in a
I
way.
usually played black against. I played black against Vaganian, against Putian.
Mm-hmm.
Against Aronian, I don't remember. I played twice, but I don't remember. Maybe I was white, but I didn't play e4.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, against Akopian, I was black again. This was the game I won.
With French?
No, with Penoni. But Akopian was, Vaganian was the most interesting from them, of course. Putian was very technical, and Akopian also technical, but he was somehow stronger as a presence at the board. Somehow, yeah. But Vaganian was a talented guy who could just do like this. Just play the game without sitting on his chair and still win a brilliant French.
He was very talented.
Yes. No, I played. I also played some less strong Armenians, but okay, these were the strongest. I played with.
But did you feel some presence of some kind of a style in their play? Would you feel it? Or
I certainly
it's
did. Yes,
imaginary?
absolutely. Yeah.
No,
So
I
more
didn't.
dynamic.
Actually, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I didn't. It was, I mean, okay.
Maybe you were immersed in that kind
No,
of
I mean,
play.
twice I played the Benon, with Lputian and with Akopian. Akopian, I just beat like this. I mean, and with Lputian, actually, I got into trouble in the opening, but he could not handle it. And when I offered the draw, I think he was approaching trouble. Maybe it was still equal, but so I cannot say I was impressed. With Aronian, okay, two draws. I don't know. Okay, he was younger. He was not at the top yet because he had a late start. With Vaganian, I played the King's Indian with black. He tried something, but not so. He played a 92 system in Mar del Plata. Okay, no, it was some technical draw. So didn't know. I have studied the French opening, and I know what it means to be a Vaganian. I'll put, yeah. For instance, if we take the French, okay, we can. You have several levels. I will use a few names without making any discriminations. It's just what I know. We have Putian, for instance. Putian, a strong grandmaster. Okay, never close to being a candidate, but a strong grandmaster. Technical. He knows what to do. In this position, we do this. We put the pieces like this in this structure. Then we have Vagania. That's the same, but he feels the moment to do something which can be not so easy to understand for the opponent. I mean, not objectively stronger than Putian. I mean, if we take it, but this inspiration, something that Nepo has, but he really didn't try to show it against Carlsen. Something to force the opponent to make choice, one choice and another choice, and he would play easy somehow. Then we have Geller from the other side. Geller would be very deep in the opening, and he would find all the typical structures. Depending on the move order, he would find the setup plan, a specific plan that would be unpleasant for black. And then we have Korchnoi. Now with Korchnoi, the French defense, because the French defense is about structure, yes, a few typical structures.
That's
It's
right.
the block structure, the Isolani, and okay, some positions with open center, yes, which are not so typical not only for the French. Now, when Korchnoi plays the French, then this becomes a chess position, and he forgets about anything, and he just somehow plays some. We can call it simple chess, but it's not simple at all. I mean, I have this feeling that with Korchnoi, the French defense loses its individuality. It's just a chess position. It's not a structure. It's not. So that is more or less what I feel.
Okay, Ken. Anything would you like to add?
Now I've said a few things. I mean, as said, I mean, I had a very simplified view of what Soviet chess school meant. Of course, it meant also a training regimen that of the kind that I mean, I grew up as a chess prodigy in the United States, and there was not even the Samford Fellowship, although I would have refused that sort of thing because I knew I wasn't going into chess professionally. But everything was just very informal. You're on your own. There was a little bit of some nods of organizational support and certainly expenses paid by the U.S. Chess Federation. And Bruce Pandolfini gave chess lessons in New York, so that was my chess training. I took one lesson, and that's it. Nothing at all like the concerted effort and philosophy and infrastructure that we knew to exist in the Soviet Union.
Ken, but still you can put in your resume that you had a private lesson with Bruce Pandolfini.
That was kind of public. He
Right?
was advertising himself to a bunch of us, Michael Rode and John Fedorowicz. I forget who was there. About 6 of us were there. He did a lesson based on the famous Capablanca-Botvinnik game.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that one. Yes, we know that.
Botvinnik Capablanca. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, now back to reality. I really appreciate your thoughts about the subject today. Now we will finish our program for today. We will start in a few minutes a program in Russian.
mhm.
You can see it on YouTube.
Sure. Yeah.
So for next time, maybe you will join Russian channel as well, because I know that you have some knowledge of Russian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Я знаю так от 300 слов.
Спасибо.
Спасибо. До свидания.
This-
Yeah.
okay, I'd like to say goodbye to all our listeners, and we will resume the program in Russian, another channel,
Mhm.
in a few minutes. Thank you very much, and see you all next Saturday.
Okay.
Bye bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Mhm.